way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Arizona Cardinals. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that's complete to Adams. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Here we go now.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Detroit!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking for his receiver, sharp, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Sidney Jones. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment. But there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
So good field position for the Cardinals as they come up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They'll look to throw. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Brandon Mebane. Breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Looking to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points. Start off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. He'll be brought down at the 43. Joey Bosa in on the stop. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. He sets up the screen to Jones. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know you've got a baseball background, right?
A little bit. Started minor league ball.
Yeah, you did some of that, right? What do they do when they do the signals? An indicator, right?
Tells you whether it goes or not, yeah.
Yeah, whether the play's on or not. How about the indicators offensive linemen give when they're getting ready to run a screen pass? And if those get red, well, we just saw that there, didn't we?
No gain.
No gain. Deciphered it and finished the play off.
And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now, they had the box stacked. That run was going nowhere from the start.
And when you say stacked, you really mean it, don't you? Because when you're talking about a 46 defense, commonly known as the Bear defense, you're covering up the guys inside, and you're allowing other people to get in there close to the line of scrimmage, usually an 8-man front. That's difficult to block for an offense. On that play, the defense won in a big way. No gain at all.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Leopard! Gone!
Now back to throw. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's complete. It's Gordon. And they'll get him down here at the 23. A gain of 6 there on first.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
All right, now look at 57. 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Watch it now, Barney.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Stephon Tuitt in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the second time. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. This is their third drive right now. Maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very solid gain of 27.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? They sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Here's McKinnon. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Back to throw. It's caught by Quincy Enunwa. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Detroit!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. A dump down to McKinnon. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
McKinnon, nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. And there to stop him, Terrell Edmonds.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. He'll look to throw. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And Jones has it over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And a little floater there is incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw here. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They run it with McKinnon. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Two minutes remain in a scoreless first half. More from the desert after this. On second down, it's Jones. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down. Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
He'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now fourth down. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over first and 10. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, second down. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it, rest of the game. And it does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tacklers.
And the defenders know it too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know what the rule is. First guy hold up the runner, everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free.
They're going to look to throw. And running with power here. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle. Cardinals got to go quickly, hustling to the line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Caught on the right side by Jones. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. They'll throw now on the final play. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. There are 0 points on the scoreboard for either side. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments were made. The defenses have obviously been great.
So if you like defense, this is a classic game. This is what you're looking for. But now you're trying to figure out how to gain any type of an advantage on offense. Is it through a big chunk play that they haven't seen before? Or is it just running your regular offense and running it better, trying to create an opportunity?
We'll see which avenue they choose to go down. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Detroit! Detroit!
They go play action here on first down. Looking deep for his tight end, Ertz. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. It was Reggie Ragland who got him down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They run once more with McKinnon. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Detroit! Detroit!
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. Well, some good news, partner. We will not have a scoreless tie as we finally get our first points of the contest here in quarter 3.
Yeah, just a field goal, but with the way those defenses ruled in the first half, that could be a big three-point play right there, couldn't it?
Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Lucky 56.
Again, it's Jones. And he will lose lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. This is Shepard on the catch. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from the first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now McKinnon. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through it, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. He'll look to throw. A dump down to McKinnon. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll go again to Jones. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
The Bucs on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is third down and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on fourth down leads to 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
A give to Jones. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
Well, some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. They'll drop the throw. Gets it to Gordon. Gets through, and now an opening. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Gordon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Now a play fake here on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, it feels like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, it should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw. And it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. The 30, the 20, 10, and they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. That's a tough spot as a quarterback, Charles. You want to get rid of it, but you see what can happen when you do try to get rid of it with pressure.
Yeah, and how about the pressure coming without them having to blitz? That's when you know things are clicking for your defense, and the end result, they end up gaining 6 points.
Sturgis adds the PAT, and the lead grows to 10-0. This is fielded a couple yards deep.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last, the pick six, obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And he's got his tight end. This is Luke Wilson. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw here. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Looking to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. Some pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking deep for Adams, and he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Terrence Brooks with a pick. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 16. Back to throw. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here, and sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That's complete. It's Gordon. And down he'll go at the 25. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. The Bucs on 3rd down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
No, check, Patriot!
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now back to throw. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And now the football is going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. So out now come the Cardinals. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. And they'll go on the ground. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Toss. It's McKinnon. Nifty move. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 on the pickup, but they're still a few inches short now on 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Sturgis able to knock it through, and that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Pushing through the contact. And he'll weave his way up, all the way up, a few yards shy of midfield.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Now a desperation throw deep down, and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Buda Baker with a pick. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Down to a knee. Here's the Cardinals look to let the clock roll. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts